This episode of the IBJJF Podcast is brought to you by Kings. Kings is a proud sponsor of the IBJJF Absolute No-Gi Grand Prix. Go to kings.com today to check out all their latest gis and apparel. Welcome back to another episode of the IBJJF Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the IBJJF Absolute No-Gi Grand Prix. This event goes down next Thursday, February 29th. It's going to be at the Hangar in Costa Mesa, California. Can't wait for the event. Samir, how you doing? How excited are you for this event?
Good. How are you, Danny?
I'm awesome.
Man, it's amazing, this event. IBJJF always putting up some great events. The GP has been going on for a while, but now with some surprises. I'm very excited for this one, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, the format is very cool for this event. We got the 8-man No-Gi Grand Prix, some incredible world champions in that bracket. Then we also have 10 gi super fights. We also have 2 blue belt juvenile super fights. We have 4 purple belt super fights, and then some black belt super fights as well. So to kick things off, I just want to get your take on these blue belt super fights and these purple belts on the card. This is the first time we've done this at the Absolute GP, having these types of fights. And I think it's great for the athletes. It's great for getting exciting matches on the card. So just want to get your take on how cool it is to see some of these younger athletes get to display their technique on a big stage.
And this was exactly what I was talking about. I'm very excited for that. I truly think this is a big step that IBJJF is taking, that we as a community are taking. I think it's great to bring the young athletes, the lower belts to the big stage, in order to give them more sense, showing them how close they are from becoming a professional. So seeing, so they don't feel like I'm only gonna become professional 5, 10 or years from now. And sometimes we lose talents on the way. So now, as they started getting into the big stage, that's going to give them, not only them, but also, of course, the public, the other lower belts that are watching them, are going to give them hope that they're going to be being professional even before they get to the black belts. Because nowadays, man, like the jiu-jitsu, the level of jiu-jitsu is so high. You can see, we've seen many competitions where you can see the level of the lower belts is so high, close to black belts. So and for spectators, it's super nice too, because those kids, they're hungry, they fight, they go forward, they fight, like they know what they want. They know what they want. They go there, they put on a show, they have incredible jiu-jitsu, incredible talents, and it's amazing, man. I'm super excited for that, super excited for this new era in our sport. I'll say that. I'm pretty sure it's only the beginning.
Absolutely. And something you mentioned that we talk about all the time on this podcast is just how close these athletes are to black belt level, even when they're juvenile or purple belt. It seems like they're far away in terms of the belts, but their technique is such a high level. They've been training for so long. So sometimes you'll see, like we've talked about, a juvenile blue belt win the worlds, and then just 2 or 3 years later, they're already competing as black belts.
Yes, and not only competing, being up there, like being on that same level and going going super high level there. It's not only like, oh, they're gonna show up, they got promoted fast or anything like that. No, they're gonna be there, and they're gonna want to win. And a lot of the times we see, and we can see, like, even in the black belt divisions, how younger and younger they are winning worlds. We see Tyro Tolo, he won at 18 or 19 or something like that. And a couple years before that, I believe he won as blue belt or something. Like, so it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to think about that. But of course, we have many examples like that nowadays, and I think this is going to be just not going to be an exception anymore. I think that we're going to see more and more of that, because kids are becoming more professional earlier in their career. So I think this events like what IBJJF is doing right now, I think this is just going to help accelerate that professionalism.
Don't miss these matches. 2 blue belt juvenile matches, 4 purple belt adult matches, and then we also have 4 black belt super fights. Let's get into those, Samir. Let's kick it off with Sandri Silva versus Jackson Nagai. Sandri, a new black belt, represents Aries, taking on Jackson Nagai, who's an American national champion, been a black belt for quite some time. 2 really exciting guys, dynamic styles. I think this one's going to be really exciting.
It's definitely gonna be a very exciting match. Sandre, man, like if you're listening to me, have never watched his fights, go ahead, look him up and watch his matches. Kid is super explosive, super dynamic. He's beautiful jiu-jitsu, goes forward the whole time, goes for the finish. Very, very, very talented against a super game Jackson, a guy that has proved himself as a black belt, as a super high level black belt, runner up Pan American champion, American national champion. So tons of credentials. Uh, um Man, more experienced for sure. Very good going against new talent. So this match is going to be very, very good, very explosive. I can't wait for this match. One thing I tell you, don't blink in that match, man. Both of them are super game.
As we mentioned, it's Sandri's first black belt GP super fight. Jackson does have some experience at these GP events. He beat Natan Chuang at the last Absolute Grand Prix back in 2023. Do you think some of that experience is going to come into play for Jackson?
Absolutely. I think even being on a big stage, being on a big stage, it is something that it's not the same adrenaline. We can compete our whole life in a championship format, and then when we go to, of course, everyone reacts different. Like my experience and the experience from a lot of people that I know, it's a different adrenaline. It's different when you are on the big stage that all eyes are on you than when you are in a tournament format. But let's see how it goes. I do believe by the experience, Jackson has a little edge there, but Sandre, man, the kid is super game. So I'm really excited to watch this match.
It's going to be a very fun matchup. Next up, we got another really fun one. And this is one of the reasons why I love these GP events so much, because you get these matchups that you might not see in tournaments just based on weight classes or for a variety of factors. But we have Zack Kina taking on Shane Jamil Hill Taylor. Shane, 2018 world champion, 2021 Pan champion. Zack had his rookie black belt year in 2023. Did amazing, had some great results at the Pans. I believe he got third. Also got second at the World's No-Gi in 2023 this past December. Has looked great and has really improved with every outing at black belt. What do you think about this matchup?
It's going to be a great match, man. It's going to be a great match, I believe. Um, Zach, it's only going to get better from here. So, rookie black belt last year. So, he already had great results. So, I think in he comes from a room full of killers, So, he's only gonna get better. He's only gonna improve, and this is only his second year. So, I believe he has a lot on his game that can put some dangers. I do remember one of his matches at Pans, that no arm triangle that he hit like that. I don't think no one was expecting there. And Jamir is another guy that, man, like, that kid is incredible. His game is very unorthodox too. Like he hits submissions and moves from like everywhere, and that kid's like a magician, man. Like,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be a good one. It's really gonna be a good one. Again, I do believe Jamil has more experience, more credentials too under his belt, so um, has a little bit of edge on that too. Be on the big stage too. That's something that he is more experienced, but Zach's very dangerous. So let's see how that's gonna play out.
There is one fact I wanted to get your take on too, and you touched on it that Jamil has a lot of experience. He won the black belt worlds all the way back in 2018. Zack was probably a blue belt at that point, but Jamil has been a little bit less active in recent years. I know he's had some injuries, and Zack's been very, very active. So although he doesn't have as much black belt experience or black belt major championship or GP experience, do you think those things are going to kind of cancel each other out?
Um, I won't say that it cancel it out, but that definitely helps Zach. That definitely helps Zach that he has been in a better rhythm, let's put this way, right? Like competing nonstop and doing really well in the big tournaments. And Jamil almost making his comeback. He did, I think did he fight last year? I think he fought last year, but then he stopped a little bit again,
Yeah.
right? He was out for an injury, and then he fought, and then he stopped again. So he has been on there for a little bit, but his experience in being a world champion, I this is one thing that I always say, man. Like when you are a world champion in IBJJF, you were a different breed, you know. So I believe being a little time off and coming back and injure and come back, Jamir is a different breed, you know. So I think he still has a lot, and he's young too. He's young,
Yeah.
you know. So making comebacks when you're in your 20s is it's not too hard. Let's put it this way. But Zach has been in a good sequence. So I think it's gonna be a great match. I think it's gonna be a great match. But I think Jamil is still his experience is still has an edge for him there. Okay.
Next up, we got our only rematch of the black belt super fights. We got Andy Murasaki taking on Matias Luna. Matias is a multiple-time American national champion. Andy, a veteran of these GP events, has won super fights, also won the world's no-gi in 2022, Europeans in 2023. One of the most dangerous and fun to watch athletes on the scene right now. Still super, super young. I think he's only like 23, but already has a bunch of black belt experience. So it feels like a matchup of two veterans, despite the fact that they're both young. But what do you think about this match? I know they did fight at the San Diego Open in 2023 back in I think it was late last year in the medium heavyweight division. Andy got the win, but Matias is always dangerous, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, both of them are really exciting fighters. And Matias, his game is super fun to watch. I always when these guys are on the mat, like if you're not watching, you're gonna miss a show. You know, like
Yeah.
no matter, it's always fun to watch. You know, always forward, always putting on a show. Man, great technique, great athleticism, great exposure. He's very fun watching, very dangerous, very dangerous. His passing game, man, like it's amazing. On the other side, we have Andy, which has a very impressive game. Man, I love this guy's game. He very effective guard. It's a very good combination of very effective guard with incredible guard passings. You know, very dynamic, but at the same time tons of pressure. Like he's dynamic, but he finds a way for you not to be dynamic on bottom. You know what I mean? Like I always like to say that has a lot of a lot of Braguinha's moves on his game.
Mhm.
You know, and I always say I'm a big fan of Braguinha and big fan of Andy's game too. So it's a clash of styles there because Matias is good. Like he moves a lot and he's very explosive. Andy, on the other hand, he tries to keep his game, his opponents super tight and try not to like try make them not move too much. You know, let's put it this way. So it's a clash of style. I look forward to that match. We've seen that match before, and I look forward to this one because I'm sure Matias is going to try to push the pace a little bit more so he doesn't go into the spider webs that Andy has. You know, once you get in those webs, it's very hard to move. So I'm sure Matias is going to be trying to push the pace a little bit to make this fight more dynamic and to try to use his movements not to allow Andy to put on his game. So I'm looking forward to that to see how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, the last fight, Andy was able to slow Matias down, but like you said, Matias, so dynamic, so athletic, always has the ability to change the pace and put the pace on his opponent. So he'll definitely be looking to do that and change up the style for this one.
Yeah, no, I look forward to that.
Let's move on to the last black belt super fight. We got Tian taking on Mauricio Oliveira. Mauricio coming off an amazing performance at the Europeans, won the medium heavyweight division, taking on one of the best middleweights we've seen in competition, Tian two-time world champion, European champion, Brasileiro champion, crown champion. He's won every major title in jiu-jitsu, and he's done so in dominant fashion. Let me get your take on this matchup, and what do you think Mauricio brings to the table that not that Tian hasn't seen before, because he's seen pretty much every style, but something that he can do maybe differently than some of Tian's past opponents.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for this matchup. Um, that never happened, right? They never fought. They
Yeah,
haven't fought before. Man, Mauricio, he's super tough. His game is very effective, very good on bottom, very good on top, very physically strong too, very well prepared. He showed that at Europeans with an amazing performance. So like very, very dominant actually, like Europeans. He he's fighting a different animal now. I'll say that. China man, like amazing, very complete, and like what 60. His record IBJJF is just ridiculous. Won
yeah,
everything. So I think that's going to be a very good matchup for both of them. Very good test for the rest of the season for both of them. I believe that's going to be a very good match for Tainan. I believe that's going to be a very good test for Mauricio. Uh, I can't wait, man. Like how this match it's gonna play out because Mauricio he showed that he really wants to. He showed us at Europeans what he wants to do the rest of the season. You know,
absolutely.
and uh, uh, and we all know what Thailand is capable of, and we all know what Thailand wants to do for the rest of the season. So I can't wait for this matchup. I think, like I said, that's going to be a very good test for both of them. You know, very good test for Mauricio to see what to expect for the rest of the season for one of the biggest champions we have, and for Thailand because I'm sure Mauricio is going to be a very good challenge for him for this matchup for sure.
So that'll do it for our black belt gi super fights. Let's get into the absolute no-gi GP. Just a few quick stats about the GPs. They started in 2016, but this is only the second absolute no-gi GP. So it's very cool that this event is coming back. We got some amazing athletes in it. I'll go through the list of who's signed up. We got Kanan Duarte, Carlo Bodoni, Dante Leon, Roosevelt Souza, Patrick Gaudio, Haisam Rita, Pedro Hosha, and Elder Cruz. So pretty great lineup. A lot of world champions and new world champions too. We got Elder Cruz and Roosevelt Souza, who just won gold at the No-Gi Worlds. What do you think of this lineup overall, Samir?
I think this lineup is it's very very nice. There are some fights that I'm very excited about that I hope it plays out. Man, uh, uh, any event that we have Kainan Duarte, it's very hard not to say that he's one of the favorites. Probably in that whole lineup, he's the most accomplished fighter that we have, right? Uh, but man, like we have some really incredible athletes there. I do want to see Patrick Audio in some of with some of the matchups there. I like his style, pushing forward a lot. That he went out for a little bit and then making his comeback, and now him against Kainan would be a very nice match in Nogi. I want to watch. I want to watch that one. Um, we have another fighter that's very exciting too. Rida, Giancarlo, man, that that kid's amazing too. So he's definitely in that mix to be one of the favorites in my opinion. Uh, and many other guys there that Roosevelt, man, like that guy is also very dangerous. I always say a big guy playing guard, like a man, like his flexibility and all, like it's even unfair a little bit. That guy that big, that flexible, playing guard so well, burn bolos and also very dangerous too. Man, I can't wait for that GP, man. I can't wait. And I want to see how the bracket's gonna play out too. How the bracket's gonna come out. I have a little idea there, here and there, but I want to see how that's gonna be because that's gonna say a lot. But I'm definitely looking forward to see Kainan against Giancarlo. I want to see Kainan against Patrick Gaudio too. So there are a couple matchups I have in my mind there that I want to watch that are gonna be very good ones.
You mentioned Kinen being the most accomplished in the GP. He won the Absolute GP in 2022 in the gi, so he's aiming to be the first two-time Absolute GP champion in the one in the gi, one in no-gi. That hasn't been done before. That would be a very cool feat. Also, a two-time world champion, has won all the major titles for the most part. Won the Absolute division at the Europeans 2023. So he's done absolute divisions, had a lot of success in them, fought and defeated opponents of all sizes. So what do you think about that? And what do you think about kind of trying to go for this feat of winning the absolute GP in the gi and no gi?
That would be a very nice for him to be the champ, for the GP. Very nice stats, and man, like in my opinion, he has what it takes. Like I said, he's one of our most accomplished fighter in that lineup. But uh, in jiu-jitsu we've seen it all, like, and we have a lot of very good athletes that, as I mentioned, we have a lot of guys there that have very good chance of winning. But like I said, he's definitely the fighter with the most credentials, and I think in my opinion, he's the favorite to take it. But I do see some no easy job at all, and I do see some fights that could go other way, And like I said, one of the fights that I'm very excited is to see Giancarlo and Kainan. I want to watch this match.
Yeah, let's talk a
I
little
hope
bit.
it plays out.
Me too. I want to talk a little about Giancarlo. Giancarlo was competing in the gi quite a bit early in his career, especially in the lower belts, had some great success, made a transition, moved to Austin, Texas to train under Professor John Donaher, and really just wanted to commit to competing and training no-gi. And since then, he's done amazing. He won the Pan no-gi. He's competed in a lot of no-gi events. And Giancarlo's game has evolved so much. And you can imagine he's training with guys like Gordon Ryan. He's training under John Donaher. He's training with Nicholas Marigali. They got such a tough room there. They're all so technical. So can you talk just a little bit about his evolution and why you think he's so dangerous as an opponent now?
uh, I think for the fact that he's dedicating himself a lot to nogi, that uh, that gives him a little edge on hybrid fighters. Let's put it this way, right? On a nogi tournament, and with a set of rules and everything, he's definitely, of course, uh, Kainan has won literally everything to Inogi, so that's what brings the excitement in that match, in my opinion. Um, Giancarlo has a very dangerous game.
Yeah.
He, like, and we've seen guys that has beat him before many times early in his career, and then he's able to beat them. Later, lately in his career. So we see the evolution of his game. Uh, and his education for Nogi, his game is tighter. He's hitting more submissions, different submissions, unexpected submissions. So I just think this matchup could play out really, could be very nice, and it's very good. He has very good submissions, very good. He hunts submission a lot. His game is forward. He does not. He I like his style. He does not hold anything back. And I think kind of has the same approach to the game too. Like, I'm sure none of them is gonna be playing points or advantages or anything. I think both of them are gonna be trying to get submissions, and this is one of the things that me as an spectator, and I'm sure everybody else is excited about. To see the fighters going after submission. So I think having Giancarlo in that lineup makes things very interesting. And I'm not even only saying against Kainan. having him against Patrick,
Yeah.
having him against other matches too. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah, he's got great takedowns, the way he's able to transition from his takedowns to the ground to taking the back. Really amazing. So, like you said, it's going to be cool to watch Carlo compete against any of the names in this bracket. One last athlete I want to touch on is the lightest athlete in this GP bracket, Dante Leon. This guy has fought in so many different weight classes. He's had success beating so many high-level opponents. Even did super heavyweight at the Pan No-Gi in 2023. So, what do you think Dante brings to this bracket to really shake it up?
Man, Dante is a very complete fighter. Has a good wrestling, has a great guard, and he's dangerous. How like he takes the back from anywhere. Like his back takes are very very nice. It's very flexible too. Uh, one world's no-gi as a lightweight, one world's no-gi as middleweight,
Yep.
and one pans as a super heavyweight. So, he beat a world champion. I believe he beat no-gi world champion in the finals of the
Yeah, Devontae Johnson. Yeah.
Devontae Johnson. So has proved himself that he can fight in any weight class, that he can go against any opponent, no matter the weight. So he's definitely going to be a threat for everyone in that GP. So that could be like definitely good matchups with him too. Like he'll be a very interesting matches uh, in that roster. Like we were talking about Giancarlo, like that would be a great matchup,
Yeah.
Giancarlo and Dante. For Kainan and Dante, that'll be a great matchup too. Like one thing, like he's likely to be the fastest one in that GP, and the way that how good he takes it back, like if one mistake, one opening, he's gonna take somebody's back there.
Yeah, like you mentioned, so many good matchups for Dante. And just all throughout this GP, we got the gi super fights, the juveniles, the purple belts, amazing black belt super fights. So many great matchups that are going to happen for sure at this absolute no-gi GP. So, Samir, any final thoughts on this event? Anything else that you're looking forward to?
I think the whole GP itself, that man, it's gonna be very nice. Like I said, I'm all excited for a no-gi GP. Man, I love watching those guys competing. The super fights are gonna be amazing too. But one thing that I'm very excited about is the introduction of the lower belts in the GP for super fights. Really like it. I really like having them there. I think that accelerates the professionalism of our sport, and I'm always up to that. I'm always down to watch our sport grow and more become more professional. That gives them we're giving them a stage. We're giving them a stage to perform and to showcase their jiu-jitsu for everywhere for everyone. So I'm very excited for that. Very thankful for IBJJF to put that show.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for your time, Samir. If you guys want to watch this absolute no-gi GP, it goes down Thursday, February 29th. It's going to be at the Hangar in Costa Mesa. If you want to attend the event live, you can go to IBJJF.com. You can get tickets there. If you can't make the event live, you're not in California, you can watch it live on Flow Grappling. Hope to see you guys there. And if you can't make it, like I said, watch the stream live. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, IBJJF, and I'll be there. Can't wait.